Boy,
Here,
what a
let's
day
do
for
this. Now it
IT
works. Now
conversations, because we're having a
Hello.
whole
Hey,
lot
how
of
are you?
IT problems today.
Okay.
Can you hear us now, Al?
Give us a thumbs up,
I
Al.
can.
All right.
We got
Okay.
it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you for letting us know.
We're just having a great show. So,
IT problems.
you know what I did is I invoked the spirit of Elliot Alderson. And if you spend more on coffee than you do IT security, you'll be hacked. That is a quote by Elliot Anderson. That may or may not be true. Alderson. But who knows? If you try to find out anything different, you'll probably be hacked. So with that, I would like to start off our networking report and hand it back over to Mitch.
Oh boy.
Mitch.
Yep, there I am.
There you go.
So our networker, so you guys a little bit stole my thunder because for my networking report, I was going to talk about this amazing picnic that we're having here at Expansive Tosa tomorrow. Can we say Tosa, Expansive Tosa? I mean, you know, its official name is probably Expansive Wauwatosa, but we all know where we are. We're off of Burleigh, and if you are looking for in-person networking, that's going to be a great one. I didn't get the report because Kim's not here, but I know that the first and third Monday of every month, so just yesterday, there was a breakfast. Yep, it was 5 new people at the breakfast. Oh, so I'm a little bummed that I forgot to put it in my calendar, but I already put it in for July. So
That's right. You can pick up the tab next time.
oh, now we're talking. I like it. So the first, so make sure that you are that you're connecting with Kim on social media, so you know when that is happening. And she's probably just still so stuffed from yesterday morning that's why she's not here, right?
Nope, she's actually on vacation.
Vacation? Who okayed that? John, did you say Kim could go on vacation?
Yes. Now I have that go-go song in my head.
Yeah. Vacation, all I ever wanted. All right. So we have that the first Monday or the first and third Monday of every month. But really, the networking comes down to tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's the picnic. Come one, come all. John has made a ton of food, but you can also bring some potluck. Like if you brought some munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts, they'll get eaten. I promise. So hopefully we'll see you at the company picnic tomorrow, and stay connected with the Connect Show, and stay connected with Tracy and Small Biz MKE. Tons and tons of networking opportunities, both virtual and in person. More and more in-person things going on as more and more outdoor opportunities are happening as well. It's well, maybe not today because it's going to be 99 degrees outside. But we have lots of opportunities. So remember, ABN, always be networking. I just came up with that. Yeah. Back to Tracy.
ABN.
Yeah.
Received his biology BA degree from University of Chicago and his biomedical engineering MS from the University of Illinois. He was eventually recruited by GE Medical Systems, where he was a senior systems engineer in computer engineering. He progressed through manager of systems engineer to CT engineering manager.
Upon retiring from GE, Bill served as an engineering manager at Medical Advances that developed specialized antenna for magnetic
magnetic
Resonance?
MRI.
imaging systems. He then moved on to Pyron Corporation, where he served as a VP of engineering. Pyron developed on-airway CO2 monitoring systems.
So
Welcome,
Bill. Yeah.
Glad to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah. So how are things going today?
Good so far.
Yeah?
I haven't broken anything yet. So.
Oh, we're breaking everything for you. So how's that mic looking? Should we get a little closer?
Closer.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
I'll try that.
So, you know, there's a lot going on. It's a dynamic world. Everything's changing all the time. And what are some of the computer threats or scams that maybe are recent that we should all know about and keep an eye out for?
There are a number of them, and I know Roger will probably talk about them as well in the next segment. But a lot of the scams are oriented towards older individuals. A message will come up on the screen and it'll say, don't turn off your computer, call this number right away because your files are going to be compromised. And it's completely bogus. What they want is to have you contact them, and then they will talk you into purchasing some software, which may or may not be actually useful, but it's way overpriced. I had a client a couple days ago ask me if they should really renew their McAfee for $400, and I said, go online. It's $39, $49. It's a scam. Mm-hmm. Other things that are happening are you'll get a message saying FedEx attempted to deliver a package and they were unsuccessful. Call this number. I had a client who said he got a call from United Airlines to go to the airport and get his tickets. He said, I'm not going anywhere. Why? Just random stuff. And people fall for it. There's two important human nature characteristics that come into play. The first is it's surprise, and second is fear. Mm-hmm. And the combination of the two allow people to do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do if they had time to think about what was actually being requested of them. Mm-hmm. For example, if you shop at an online store, there's really no reason they would want to know your driver's license number. Things like that just don't fit the pattern.
Right, but there's so many changes in technology that I suppose it gets really difficult for people to know when things are legit and when they're not legit.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody who wants to experiment with that can look at a retail site, Amazon, Kohl's department store, whatever, and if you right-click on their logo, many times you'll see that you can save that image. Mm-hmm. And so you can become Amazon. Mm-hmm. Just by recognition of their logo.
Mm-hmm. And there is, I think a good rule of thumb is anything that comes from any company that says to renew it or to change your password or there's an invoice, mm-hmm. just go into it with caution.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes, I'm glad you said the word invoice. That's another one of the scams that's making the rounds now, where you'll get an email saying, thanks for renewing your Norton internet security or your McAfee internet security. And they say, your account was charged $438. But down below it says, if this isn't right, give us a call and we'll try to straighten it out. It's like they're inviting you to complain or at least question, mm-hmm. what are we doing here? And the way the scam works is when you call in, they'll say, well, we can credit your account. This was obviously done in error. And then they'll ask for a credit card number or a bank account. Mm. And again, you're caught up in the moment and you're not thinking, oh, wait a minute. It says here you've already charged me, so you must have the account. Why are you asking me for my account? Mm-hmm. And right there is where the disconnect happens. Mm-hmm. So the world of computers, I've worked with them for 47 years now. It's always changing. It's not going to stop. They're going to get faster, more capable. And the whole concept, particularly for business people, of cybersecurity, most people look at it and say, well, that will never happen to me. Wrong. It will. It may not happen this year, but somewhere along the line, either someone or some entity will attack your systems, or you'll just have a failure of some sort. And that plays into another of the campaigns that I have, which is backing up your data. And most people think, well, we'll just do a backup every day, and that'll protect us. Well, maybe. It'll help for theft of your information. It will not, in fact, it'll probably be worse for a ransomware type of situation where it's an in situ, meaning on your site infection that encrypts your files, your working data files, and then says for a small ransom, we'll fix that for you. So if your backup protocol does a backup anytime a file is changed, the moment your stuff is encrypted, it's sent to your backup. And now it's no longer recoverable unless you do the ransomware stuff. So, and I expect Roger will touch on this as well, but the concept of doing backups, the protocols have changed because of ransomware type of attacks. You might want to hold off. You might not want to do a daily backup.
Right. So would you say that's one of the most overlooked aspects of computer
Absolutely.
maintenance?
I don't want to say everybody. Thumb drives are inexpensive compared to recreating particularly graphic arts work, newsletters, communications. And
So you should have like one backup and then a backup of that backup in case that backup gets doesn't have another backup.
Yeah, I run 3 for my business machines. I run 3. I do a daily. I do one that's about every 3 days, figuring I don't want to backtrack more than 3 days if I don't have to. And then I do use an offsite, so-called cloud type backup. And I've had business clients who have been affected either by a breakdown or by ransomware. And we've been able to basically reload all of their files and they continue on. Other clients didn't have anything in place and they end up paying a lot of dollars to get their files back.
That's horrible. That's horrible. So, looking forward, what aspects of computer technology look promising or exciting? What's on the horizon?
5G is exciting,
Yeah.
but it's not really computer technology. It's more communication technology. It's going to bring faster speeds to us, which everybody wants, although not everybody really needs. But I think if you look at the core technology, one of the exciting things that's in the research labs now has to do with optical computing. Currently, we're using essentially transistor logic, and that creates heat, and heat has to be dissipated with cooling fans and so on and so forth. A number of research facilities are looking at optical computing, meaning light, and instead of having a binary situation, which we have with digital, meaning on or off, with light, you can have different levels of intensity. So now, instead of trying to encode the number 10, which takes 4 bits, you can do it in 10 graduation steps of light. Another thing, light doesn't create a lot of heat. So you don't have the cooling requirements, which means you can run the equipment faster. And this is more in the supercomputer world, but we all know that that stuff trickles down and will eventually serve end users and small businesses.
Well, I'm looking forward to, I love new technology. I'm going to look up light technology and light computing and see how that is going to affect the future.
It's going to affect you for sure.
Right? Do you have any offer, anything you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your business too, because I don't think we touched on that.
Well, the business sort of formed itself. I was repairing a computer at one of the businesses that I was was involved in, and one of the customers who was standing at the counter waiting to check out wanted to know what I was doing. Could I help them when they have problems? And I thought, well, yeah. So it evolved from there. I've never advertised. All of my customer base is from word of mouth, and I would say probably 75% of my customers are home-based residential. They might be working at home, but they're not in a big institutional type facility. The other 25% are small to medium businesses, and the two biggest are radiology groups because of my history and experience in medical imaging. So I'm still very comfortable in a hospital setting as a technical person, not as a patient.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. So more word of mouth, and we're going to put all of your information on the Connect show.
Yes, we do. We have a link for it. I put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.
Today,
The one thing I try to stress with clients is that my objective is to reduce their stress level.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than teach them new things or drag them into some new technological area. It's to make the computer a useful and comfortable tool as opposed to an opponent.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
Yes,
that.
thank you so much for coming on. Oh, and did you have something that you wanted to offer our audience today?
No, other than if you have a question or a problem, feel free to call. My information will be posted, voicemail, text, email, whatever, and I'll do my best to see if I can help you. And if not, I may know someone who can.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Appreciate it. So with that, we're gonna do that reel again.
Welcome, Roger.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Roger has been working professionally in the tech industry since 2001 and has been working with computers since he was a teenager.
And Roger knows 5 different programming languages, and his background in video and audio production with his extensive knowledge of computers allows companies to produce some of the best cost-effective cross-platform solutions available in the area. So welcome, Roger.
It's great to be here. I follow the Connect show regularly, and I've met you a couple times through other avenues.
Yeah.
So I thank you.
That's great.
I didn't even know you guys knew each other.
Yeah.
So the question of the day is, do you use WordFence or Norton or a service? Obviously, you are a service, so you kind of use that. What does your security portfolio look like?
Okay, so lately what we've been seeing is that vendors are, what's the best way to put it? They're kind of narrowing their focus. So an antivirus company may focus on certain types of viruses, whereas an anti-malware company focuses more on malware. And in some cases, depending on how risky the user is, we may recommend using 2 or more if just to increase their level of protection. Some software is designed to work well together and others don't play nice with each other. So our company really focuses on making sure that we find software solutions and cybersecurity solutions that will work properly and protect people.
So how is
what is
You go.
what is a 3G sunset, and how has it affected your customers?
Okay, so the 3G sunset is the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, has determined that they need to reuse some of the radio frequencies that cellular devices use. And for someone who has an older flip phone, for instance, a lot of the older generation who maybe aren't as familiar with iPhones and Androids, their devices could get turned off by the end of the year. So they've been reaching out to companies like us to say, hey, how's this going to affect me? Communication is such a big deal in today's society that I don't want to just get turned off and disconnected, as the companies Verizon, US Cellular have to turn off some of their older equipment in favor of newer technologies. So we've been working with customers to transition over.
So how is, with the war going on, how does that affected the way that you do business?
Well, we've actually found that there's a bunch of software providers that are based out of Ukraine that can't work anymore. They're having trouble distributing their software to businesses. There are some programs that we use for GPS tracking that are actually written by engineers out of Ukraine. And that's all been kind of put on hold. So we're having difficulty getting information in and out of that country at the moment.
So do you get resourceful and get different products to people that need it, or is it just stuck? Or?
In some cases, it's just stuck, yeah, because that was the one company that's doing this particular niche thing. So, or we just work with older software temporarily while things, progress.
Wow, that's not good.
Yeah.
So what are 3 ways to protect your computer from hackers?
Okay.
We're going to go back into the hacking
I'm
subject.
going to talk about hacking. So it's interesting because this actually just happened to one of my staff last night. She got a text from someone pretending to be Chase Bank. And she recognized it as fake right away and did not actually act on it. But one of the key things that you can do to protect yourself is to recognize that if another party is initiating the conversation about a problem, whether it's with your bank account or with this or that related to your computer, that should immediately trigger a red flag in your mind. Whereas if you're the one going to, say, a company's website and they have their 800 number posted on there, and you're calling into their technical support trying to get help for a problem, that's a surefire way to tell the difference between, am I being hacked or is this a legitimate situation? Like, for instance, if I initiate a tech support call with someone from Dell and I'm expecting a call back, they're usually going to give me a ticket number, and then I have something to reference to make sure that we're continuing the correct line of communication.
And I think that's like really important because how you said it, if somebody else initiates a conversation, that's a good red flag because there's, we all get 5 or 10 emails a day that are, different weird things. So I think just remembering that will be a good place to start in protecting ourselves.
Yeah, normally I'm pretty aware of most of the ones that are happening, except for one that happened a couple weeks ago where they actually invoiced my PayPal account. And I was like,
that's a new one. Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So I didn't click on the email at all, but I went to my PayPal account and there it was.
Yeah.
And oh man, I get a little too close for comfort.
We see the same thing on our accounting, our business email that does a lot of our purchasing and everything. We get fake invoices that come in there from companies that are just trying to get us to send them a payment because we're a business.
Yeah.
They're hoping that the business is large enough that the accounting people behind it aren't paying enough attention, and they're just going to send them a $2,000 check.
Yeah, and it probably works, and that's why they keep doing it.
I'm sure it does.
I got an interesting one. I was researching hard drives, one particular brand and model, And then in a couple of days, I got an invoice for 2 of those, that same brand and model, but it came through an email from a place that I've never heard of before. So they must have had something in, like, I must have been on a website where I was looking for it, or I click onto a website where they somehow track me down.
Yeah, there's a couple possibilities. That you might have some malware on your computer that is monitoring you, and they're using that to collect data on what you're doing so that they can then send you an email and, make it look legit. Or it's also possible that the company that you were browsing their products, the hacker might have been in their system and monitoring all of the customers that are visiting their websites. So maintaining the security of these systems is critical in today's marketplace because it can affect an e-commerce site for potentially millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a weird story of like hacking or a scam, something interesting that you've seen lately?
Weird story of hacking or a scam. Let's see.
There's probably many.
Right.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. Not anything.
Is there anything new, like a new trend that you're seeing?
Definitely text scams are on the rise. I heard of a scam from texting recently where they text you as if you're a friend and they want you to click some link that they sent to you, and I guess that they're targeting they're like profiling people, and if you click the link, it will send the GPS coordinates of your phone and reveal your location to the hacker.
Oh my.
And I haven't quite been able to piece together what their end goal is to find out your location. So
Hopefully not to rob you.
I'm not sure.
For me, it's to be on the show. And you too. So
Of course.
I'm pretty sure that's why they're hacking, so they can find that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the news a few months ago, we've had in Milwaukee a lot of carjackings, so it's possible that they're using some hacking to track down certain people. It's hard to say.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I've learned a while ago that if I'm getting all these emails, to always check where the email's coming from. I've even gone as far as to Google them to see if, and then it'll say, because I got one from Facebook, and it was a Facebook email, and it said that somebody tried to change my password. And I thought, oh, this is getting serious. Because somebody's trying to, because there's a whole lot of stuff connected to that Facebook account.
And
so I Googled it, and it turned out to be a legit Facebook, but I still did not click on the email. And then I went to Facebook, and Facebook will send out emails, or they'll store all the emails that they sent to you. And that email was in there. So somebody did try to change my email.
Well, and it's trickier with
my
texting because phone numbers can be spoofed by hackers. So you can actually go into a phone system and program it to emulate somebody else's phone number. So if I call you, I might look like I'm calling from the federal government or something. But if you call that number back, it will route back to the actual company. So with caller ID spoofing, that's when, like the situation I was talking about earlier, the text can look like it's coming from the bank,
Yeah.
but it's not
So now
actually
you
the
can't
bank,
even go off of looking that up.
right? So you have to be ultra careful.
Yep.
Don't respond to any text, you
Be
guys.
careful, be aware.
No texting.
No texting.
Right? Unless it's from Tracy. Right? So
I'll send you an email.
do you have any special, I was waiting for you, but we're good. Do you have any specials or offers for the audience today, or an event coming up?
Yeah, if you mentioned the Connect show, if you call into Tech Lab or go to our website, techlabhq.com, and send us a contact, we're happy to do a 2-hour tech evaluation and help you with some of your equipment if you mention the show. And then with regards to events coming up, I'm actually a volunteer coordinator with Irish Fest.
Oh, boy.
So
Nice.
we, I use some of my tech skills in volunteer avenues, And in this case, we use amateur radio to track the shuttle buses that bus people to and from the festival grounds from the park and rides around the city. And we're looking for volunteers. So go to irishfest.com, click on volunteer, and sign up.
Well, that is fantastic. I would love to track some buses. That sounds weird. I won't say that out loud.
Well, it's more taking tickets to ride the buses.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's cool too. But I thought tracking buses would be kind of cool. It seems very hacker. I have to go get a gray hoodie.
Oh, jeez.
Got to dress for it.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. If you want to hang out there for just 1 second, once again, the Connect Show Mastermind is this month. We're talking about automation, and last week we had a great conversation about automation and the mindset. around
It was about the goals of automation, because a lot of times you go into it going, I just want to track this and this and this, but why? Why do you want to track it? What's the goal? Maybe you need another tool instead of what you've been doing.
Yeah, my framework's always mindset, strategy, and tactics, and now we have another addition to it. So it's goals, mindset, strategy, and tactics.
Goals are pretty important.
Yep.
It sets the whole.
Sets it up.
Yep.
So join us on Friday at 10 a.m. The link is available in the connectshow.com website.
Very good. Very good.
Good cover, huh?
Good cover.
Yeah. Thank you for coming today.
And thanks to everybody at Expansive. Thank you for Sandra for doing my makeup and everybody's makeup here. Thank you for our video crew, all of our volunteers. We're having a volunteer meeting right after this show, by the way, John, if you forgot.
It's at 11:30.
It is. And we're going to talk about all the different ways to make our show more successful.
And most importantly, thank you, Mitch, for bringing donuts. And with that, we'll see you next week.